What is going on, Babylonians? It's me, Songs of Rage, back with another Outriders World Slayer video to bring to you, but today it's actually not going to be about the game, it's going to be about the great news about what's just gone live, which is the thing that we've been waiting for all this time, and Buzzified has done an absolute smashing job when it comes to it. But this is the brand new Outriders Outpost. Now, if any of you have been living under a rock, the Outriders Outpost was basically the one-stop shop for everything to do with builds, and you were able to make a really nice infographic to be able to actually share between your friends and over on the Outriders official Discord, and be able to actually show some builds. It just had every single little bit of information that you could possibly ever need right there on one sheet of paper, I suppose, but also one screen, and you were able to use that to be able to make the builds so you could follow along what is also already top tier, all that kind of good stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to look into the brand new features. We're going to have a look into everything that's currently live in the version ready for, so you have a general understanding as to how this website works. So before we get any further, make sure you have dropped a like and a subscribe on the channel. It really does help the channel out, and let's get right into it. So the first and foremost thing that you'll be able to get when you come into the Outriders Outpost is this screen. This is going to be the Outpost Debrief. Now, when it comes to this tab, the Outriders Outpost was designed with community in mind, and the idea behind it was to be able to help general players be able to get in touch with ambassadors, to be able to understand all the builds that are currently going out, to be able to understand how certain guns work, to be able to understand like certain parts of the game, get a better general idea as to how the game was made, behind the scenes, videos, all this kind of good stuff. It's just there as kind of like a highlight, kind of like almost like a YouTube front screen, so you have an idea, so you get stuff recommended to you to be able to actually go and explore from there. So as you can see here, we do have videos for like the behind the scenes for Outriders World Slayer. We have locations where you can actually go and explore parts of the map. We have the legendary guns, so we have one that gets recommended, so in this case it's the Sunfall, and it comes up with all the stats, comes up with the weapon mods, all that kind of good stuff. Underneath there we have featured builds, and from my understanding this will be changing every now and then, but as you can currently see, we do have a couple of builds from Play-Doh Bear, and we do have a couple of builds from the Full Measure. Going further down, this is the live section that we do have, and the idea behind this is so that you can come here, you can get a general idea as to which ambassador is currently live, or see what kind of players are currently live and what platform they're currently doing it on. So in this case we have Dunnerman, who's over on Twitch, and you're able to get an idea with these tags to know if they're playing along with people, playing along with viewers, like get an idea as to what their stream is all about, beginner players, chilled, English, all that kind of thing, and you can go all the way to the end, and we've got Mr. J that's also over on Twitch. Next section, we do have the podcast section, and we'll click into this in a second, but this is the idea of when some ambassadors do put some podcasts together, like ourselves, and we also have the Full Measure, which is the one that you can see there with Alter Perception. Every single podcast will be featured in this section, so if you ever want to be able to go out there to be able to listen to podcasts for one of the ambassadors that have had some special guests on, that is going to be the location for you. And then we also have the guide section, so you get the idea is also behind this to have an academy, so anyone that is brand new, then anyone that's fairly new to World Slayer or fairly new to the game, was able to go over there to be able to get a really good idea for general tips and hints and all this kind of thing to it. So you get a good knowledge behind the game, so you can go out there and enjoy it for what all it is. The other bits that we do have at the bottom are going to be your vendor and your Tiago and Tariagratar vendor resets, so you can always know when those shops are going to be changing, and then that allows you to be able to do your vendor farming just so much easier just from having a browser open as well. So let's have a look into a couple of these sections. Now, when it comes to the videos, we're not too fussed, but let's have a look in location. So this allows you to be able to go around the map to get an idea, and it comes up with a little bit of information. It also comes up with a nice little graphic for it. So if we went for the first city, for example, you can get some nice screenshots to get an idea as to the general niceness or how beautiful this game actually can be, and it also gives you a nice little description. So I don't see too many people spending too much time in here, but it's there for people to be able to grab some nice screenshots and to be able to enjoy a little bit more behind the lore, behind the story when it comes to Outriders. Going across to the legendary weapons. This allows you to be able to pretty much select everything that's currently in the game, and it comes up with all the stats that you could possibly ever need, along with the actual attributes, also the tier 3 mod that they come up with, and also the tier 2 mod. So if we were, for example, looking for, let's say, the Icarus, allows us to be able to search it, and it brings it straight back up there, and it allows you to be able to come up with all these stats and everything. It's all good to go from there. So this is a really nice section, so you get a better understanding as to what the legendary guns are, and I can see a lot of people potentially being able to use this. Going from there, we do have the armor sets, and this allows you to get an idea as to how this currently looks on your character, so you can actually change your transmogs without actually going into the transmog itself to be able to do it that way. So it allows you to be able to get a better understanding as to how it currently looks. So if we went for something like Epic and we went for Mu Metal, there you go, that's what Mu Metal looks like, and it allows you to be able to get an idea, depending on what stance they're currently taking, how that currently looks. So if we go back to the debrief, let's have a look at another section. So we've already explored the locations, we've already explored the legendaries. Let's have a look at a build. So for some of you out there who've already seen some of the videos, I imagine you've probably seen the Full Measures Blighted Rounds video. So let's have a quick look into there. So this comes up with this screen. This is the brand new screen to be able to put your builds all together. It allows you to be able to customize it to your knowledge. And you can choose what average gear score it is, what ascension, you can choose your skills, what class, and all these kind of options here. It's kind of self-explanatory, but it does mean that it just requires a little bit more knowledge, and it's a little bit more in-depth going into it, because there is a lot more information to be able to go for it. So for example, in this case, what you can do is obviously with Worldslayer we did get Apocalypse drops. You can actually choose between, oh, it looks like I can't edit this one by the looks of things because it is their build, but it allows you to be able to go into the view the class tree from here, so you can see every single point. You can see the packs points that they've also gone for. You've also got the ascension points, so they know what you're actually looking out for when it comes to that. You can click view and share, and what this should do is then make it into an image ready for you to be able to share across and to be able to download, so you have this on your hard drive or on your phone, so you can be able to customize this in game. So hopefully this does pop up. There we go. It is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, you will have already seen this already over on the socials, over on social medias a few weeks back with Worldslayer actually dropping. But this is obviously what you can put all together, and it's just genuinely jaw-dropping as to how good it is. One thing to note is in the top right corner, this will actually tell you who this is by. In which case, this was by the Full Measure, and he is also an ambassador. We'll get into that very, very shortly. So going from there, let's go back to the Outpost. So obviously we've already covered all that. We've got the live section, which is just fairly explanatory. It'll just take us over to a live. Let's have a look into Explore the Podcast. So this takes you into the podcast section. You can see that we do have 4 episodes for Babylon, which obviously is ourselves. So if you fancy actually seeing some of the previous content that we've done for podcasts before we go into any of the future ones, which we are already planning, then what you can do is just click watch, and this will bring up with the screen, and all you need to do is just click play, and it will just start playing, and you'll be able to listen along, whether it be on your phone, whether it be on your PC. You'll be able to listen along to all those podcasts. So if there's ever any more by ourselves or by the Full Measure or any other kind of ambassador that does their plan on picking this up, then this will be the section for yourself. In the Academy section, though, this is where we got the small info videos that we've had from the socials for Outriders, and this will allow you to be able to pick up some essential tips, as you can see, and they're all kind of grouped up there. This will probably get filled up a little bit more. I know that Boz is working a lot with the ambassadors right now to be able to get this all filled up. So imagine over time that this will eventually have a lot more videos in there. So if you ever need any kind of like quick tips or anything like that, this is going to be the best place to be able to come to. Anyway, that's enough for the Outriders debrief. Before we go further down on the left-hand side, let's talk about profiles. So profiles, as you can see in the top right corner, I am logged in as Babylon. Songs of Ray's Downwise and Benzo, which is obviously ourselves. Now, what you can do is make your own separate profile, and this will allow you to be able to fill in all this information right here. So what you can do is have your own customized profile name, your own profile description to be able to put in there. You can choose a theme as to how you want your be able to look out. So if for example, if you're a Pyromancer main, you can click that and it will come up with its own separate background. You can put in any kind of links that you have to yourselves, whether it be your YouTube, Twitch, Twitter or Discord, and then because I don't know if this is just necessarily because we are an ambassador or not, but we do have some featured YouTube videos over on there. So if you ever click into our profile, you can get some easy access to some of our builds, and you can just go find us from over there. Now, I would highly recommend that you do go and make a profile for yourself. Not only is it just going to be nice to have your own name there, but it also makes it so much easier to be able to make a build. And what you can do is, because it just automatically saves them against your profile, you can click into them and it will just pop you straight back to the screen, which will allow you to be able to make your own visuals. You can send links across to people so they can click into it a little bit easier in case they want to go onto their browser, and it just offers so much more versatility rather than just sending them a sheet. And they can then take that, copy that build, and they can go turn it into their own profile and then work on it from there. So there is so much more to it than this, and they don't have to make it from scrap. Now we also have the Outriders tool section. Now we did have this before in the Outriders Outpost, but it just wasn't really utilized that much. But the whole purpose behind this now is to be able to help you calculate your maximum firepower. So back in the old days, it used to be a case that it was just common knowledge that epics could go up to 95.5k firepower, and legendaries can go up to 99.4. As it currently stands, I'm not too familiar with the current firepower caps when it comes to that. So what you can do is you can use this to be able to choose whatever gun that you are playing to be able to use. It does scroll across. It's nice and easy. Just be able to select it. You can choose what level your current gun is at, and then it will come up with this to be able to tell you what is the best kind of firepower for that gun at that level, and it will give you an idea whether you do have a great gun or not, and you can be able to help from there. Now, as you do create builds, like I said, you can save them against your profile and you can copy them across. To be able to duplicate, all you need to do is be able to highlight what build that you've already got saved against your profile, and then you can click the duplicate build. And what that will do is it will make a separate one here, and that allows you to be able to click into it, make a couple of minor changes, and then you can send out a separate one from there. So, for example, if you were looking to be able to, if you made a build, let's say a patch has gone through, something's may have become a little bit stronger, it's definitely a better choice. What you can do is make a duplicate to be able to keep the old one around, so you know what you've already built, and then you can make the amended one from there to be able to go back and forth between the two. Overall, the versatility on this is just absolutely staggering, and I genuinely think that Boz has done an absolutely amazing job. So if you genuinely think that's the case, make sure you drop it in the comment section down below, and what I'll do is anyone that gives some congratulations, I will happily forward straight over to Boz to be able to let him know. If at any point that you do feel like you want to be able to donate across to him, you can see in this bottom left corner that there is a donate and support button. And what that'll do is it'll take you to his PayPal, and you don't need to do this by any point, but I feel like it's worth highlighting because the amount of work that he's got into this, and the amount of effort. He's a one-man team to be able to put this all together, and I genuinely think he's done a great job. So if you can give something and you genuinely think it's a great opportunity to be able to do so, I think it's a great thing to be able to actually do, and to be able to give back to the man that's pretty much given everything to the community in Outriders as it is. And there we have it. That is everything brand new to do with the Outriders Outpost. Now, I know it got used a lot before, but it has become so much more of a social thing. And if you ever need to be able to keep up to date with any kind of news, any kind of socials, any kind of like live streams or anything like that, if you're looking for anything Outriders, this should be your first port of call, and I genuinely think Boz has done an absolutely outstanding job when it comes to this. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this? How does it all look to yourself? Have you actually given it a go just yet? And if you put anything towards Boz, if you want to write him a message, leave it in the comment section down below, and I will happily pass those straight over to him as well. Thank you so much for making your way to the end of the video. Thank you all to the Babylonian family, as always, for their continued support. It really does mean the world to us. And that just leaves me to say, keep yourself safe, keep yourselves well, and I'll see you all on our next video.